Welcome to the Wash Daily. Today in the Wash, finally, hemp-based plastics are making an entrance to the cannabis container market. So legal cannabis, one of the big problems with it, there aren't too many. Most of them have to do with packaging. Plastic materials is causing a big problem in the earth. It's accumulating in the oceans. It's killing our animals in ocean areas. It's not just cannabis, but cannabis is definitely a big player in the single-use container market. They just pretty much make everything out of plastic, little plastic containers for cannabis or plastic wraps for vape pens. So there's a few companies that are starting to make things out of hemp, which is a natural offsetter of CO2. So just growing the hemp to make the hemp-based plastics, that's doing something anyway. There's a couple out of California, there's a couple out of Colorado, and these guys are really pushing the envelope on 3D filament for 3D printing and for plastic containers made of biodegradable material. So it's very good news for the cannabis market. The politicians are fighting about cannabis on TV finally. A bunch of the Democratic hopefuls are now arguing about cannabis. Elizabeth Warren just unveiled her cannabis plan, which seeks to completely decriminalize cannabis and expunge cannabis possession charges from people's records. Bernie Sanders is also echoing a similar plan. His plan says the very first day of his presidency, he will decriminalize cannabis, make everyone who has records, make their records go away. Their criminal slate to be wiped clean of cannabis charges. And he's receiving some pushback from some of the other contestants. Michael Bloomberg thinks it's a dumb idea to have legal cannabis. He says he's not for legalization of cannabis at all, but would allow the states who have currently legalized it to remain legal if he becomes president. It is interesting to see the role cannabis will play in the Democratic nomination. Canadian bacon's a big deal. Well, hopefully so too will be Canadian hash. A longtime fan of hashish, Canadians are excited to finally be getting some old school style hashish in the dispensaries. Now, a lot of people don't think the Canadian legal market's going to be able to do hash, right? They feel like hash needs to come from the mountain region near Afghanistan, where they're famous for making hash properly. People are pretty excited about hashish coming to the Canadian dispensary, although it won't be from Afghanistan, it'll come from Winnipeg. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll be making a trip to Canada to get some of their Canadian hashish. Thanks for watching The Wash Daily.